You know, but actually a pretty smart move on his part, because that's going to relax you. And, you know, when you get a massage at the table, you know, you're really not that interested in the game. You don't care if you're sitting out a hand or two because you're being pleasured, you know. So I definitely think it's an advantage getting a massage at the table because it just relaxes you, calms you down. You're not anxious. You don't care if you need to get in pots or not. Just enjoy the moment.
Yes, from what I've heard, this is an easy town to get pleasured in.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
I got to hang out with you more often, I guess.
Sorry about that. I think we could be seeing a spot, Mike, where we have like 5 or 6 massage girls here at the table for all these guys. They all seem to be enjoying it.
This is the worst idea.
Well, these are the kind of players that don't care what it costs. You know, just get somebody over here to relax me.
$5.50.
Ignat with top pair here going to bet.
He's, for me, Mike, he's shown a lot of heart so far. You know, he didn't let himself get spun out of control after losing the first 20,000. Rebought. He's focused.
Well, look at Torelli making the call with the 2 overcards, and now a 10 comes off, so I don't see Torelli going anywhere now. Let's see what Ignat's going to do, if he's going to shut down or not.
These guys are, they're targeting Ignat a little bit, aren't they?
Well, it appears that way, but they saw him pay 2 big bets off on the river with not much of hands, and that's what they're targeting. They recognize if they can make a hand, they're liable to get paid off with it, and that might be what Torelli's thinking here, even though it's going to cost him another $1,400 to miss call.
Basically a pot-sized bet, so I mean, you're not exactly getting the price here, Mike, unless you are going to get the big bet on the river if you hit it, aren't you? Well, he knows he's...
Well, Torelli has made the call here, so to win the pot, as the cards lie, he's an ace, king, queen, or a 9. And a 10 comes off, but it is the 10 of spade, which might freeze up Ignat a little bit.
Interesting to see if, I mean, if Ignat checks, does Torelli want to try and represent the flush? It could have been in the back of his mind, right?
Certainly. He called on the flop, he called on the turn.
If you're Ignat, you think that beats you all the times, except for the times when you had the losing hand already, Mike.
Well, no purpose in betting right now if you're Ignat. It serves no purpose whatsoever, unless you just want to make what we call a blocking bet where the opponent doesn't steal the pot from you. But I think you just check here and you pay him off is what I think.
I think he's going to be in trouble. I mean, after you've paid off guys twice already and been shown the nuts, isn't it really hard? You just feel like you're beat, don't you?
Well, it does look like he might have had a spade draw here, no question about that, the way this hand was played. Or it looks like he might have been slow playing 3 5s or something all along. You know, calling with 2 jacks and an 8 kicker, not so easy to do right now. I tell you the truth, it's really not.
Not just that, Mike, but this is not anything we've seen from Torelli yet. Torelli has looked like a guy who's a little tight, hasn't he? He hasn't looked like a guy who's kind of peeling. Wow, he's called it.
Wow, he's made the call and he's going to win the pot. Well, Torelli didn't learn his lesson seeing this guy.
He thought he was beat. Torelli turned over the queen of spades first, and I mean, Ignat must have just thought, I'm looking at a flush here. But you know, sitting at that table, Mike, having watched Torelli, and all these guys haven't watched Torelli, you wouldn't have expected him to make the big bluff there. But Ignat,
well,
he held to his guns. You think there was a...
You got to be paying attention. You should have seen the guy pay off 2 big bets earlier with weak hands on the river. So why would you think he wasn't going to pay you off there? But on the other hand, it's a very tough call for the guy to make. I'll tell you the truth, it really is. But we see he pays off hands on the river, and Torelli just missed it. But he took a stab at winning the pot and probably almost did win it.
I mean, if you are Ignat, you had to think to yourself, well, what is the guy calling me with, right, Mike? There wasn't, you know, he had to put Torelli on a really big range. Look at Andy Black.
Andy Black in the house. Now you talk about a unique character in the poker world. Just put him in the top 10 list.
He's just arrived, Andy Black. Oh, yeah. Him and Phil Locke could have some fun. But Andy Black's just arrived over from Dublin, Ireland. I know he was at the final table of the Irish Open, you know, which probably is, to him, one of the great tournaments that he'd want to win. He was chip leader there. He's been on a little bit of a roll lately.
Yeah. I think he went out in 8th place, though. So, again, another disappointing final table for Andy Black. But I'll tell you, he gets a hold of chips in tournaments. I got to give him credit for that.
I don't see Andy that much these days. Usually goes to Vegas for the World Series and doesn't travel much beyond that. He's a family man. But have a look here.
Locke has raised the pot. Ketchelov 3-bet it to 900, and Trickett has picked up 2 kings here. And he's going to get a 4-bet in. Says, you guys can raise it. Let me raise.
I mean, this is a lot different, isn't it, than the Ketchelov 4-bet on Torelli? And the reason I'm saying that, Mike, is because you know, people perceive Trickett differently, don't they? 1,500 more. I mean, he is capable of making a light 4-bet here. Can Ketchelov see through this?
Well, you're right about that. He knows this is the one player at the table that could be making a move here. Now, he may just want to opt to call and see a flop with the 2 9s.
They're never going to know.
See if little cards come up, or obviously if he could flop a 9.
32, whatever. It doesn't matter that.
If he was, they were both a lot deeper. Calling would feel a little more trivial because you could almost set mine, but I don't think they're deep enough here. Ketchelov's only got about 15,000, so.
Well, he makes the call